big one. As you know, Asante Kotoko, they are home to Hearts of Oak in match day 22 of the Ghana Premier League. Not just the 3 points are at stake, the bragging rights as well, and also an opportunity to be back into the title conversation, because Mediema and Adriana, who are first and second on the league table, ended up drawing. So it presents an opportunity to Kotoko and Hearts to win and close the gap on them. My name is Mutala Yakubu, here with Ignatius Fosu and of course Jeffrey Asare. Jeff, back into the title conversation. That is what is on the table for both teams. A draw here will not be favorable for them.
No, especially for Accra Hearts of Oak. They have 36 points. Now Hearts of Oak will host both Mediama and Adriana in Accra. Hearts needs the 3 points massively, because when they win and they get to 39 points, if they do everything on the playing field to beat Mediama and Adriana, they are in serious contention. Do you understand me? So they need it badly. You know, Kotoko have to go to Takwa. Kotoko will go to Takwa. Kotoko will have to go to the dreaded Doma as well. But for Hearts of Oak, they are hosting these two clubs. So for Accra Hearts of Oak, this particular game means a lot to their title contention if they really want to at least have a shot at the title. They need this game result. They need a 3 point badly.
Well, you are saying they need the 3 points. Now let's look at the head-to-head of the two teams since the 2020-2021 season. It's very important because Hearts of Oak have had some very good results here in the league, and they will be looking at getting another point here. Mostly they draw at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, except that season where they played both home and away here, and Stevie Desimukwala,
yes,
if you remember, did them dirty.
Yeah.
That season, Asante Kotoko ended up winning the league. But I mean, it's been a lot of 0-0 draws in that one. But that game where Kotoko did the double over them here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium to win the league. The last game they played actually ended 1-0 in favor of Asante Kotoko in Accra. But Asante Kotoko at home are always strong when they come up against Hearts of Oak.
Of course, if you watch the 2022 when Asante Kotoko have to lose to Accra Hearts of Oak, remember Zlatko Matic, Konedu Yadom's goal that he scored against them. Since then, Kotoko has always beaten Accra Hearts of Oak here. You spoke against Stevie Mokwela's 2-0 here. But then they went to Accra and did a 3-2 over them. Linda Mtange, Martin Karikari, Isaac Kopon, and then Mukwala, the 3-2. Then, of course, Abetamwa did the 1-0 here. Now, Morifin Donzo then goes to Accra to do the 1-0 over them. So, Hearts of Oak, the last time they won here was in 2009. So, it's a long time. So, Hearts of Oak have a lot to do to win here. So, this particular game, the dynamics are many. From Kotoko, Karim Zito leaving, Chief of Staff going to the training ground, Bantamaini going to the only former twice CEO of Asante Kotoko going to the training ground. Then also Jabina Kente, the second of so those dynamics are going to. How well would the presence of those chiefs impact the Kotoko team? Don't forget the regional minister was also there, the mayor was also there. Hearts of Oak are coming to this game knowing that they lost the first game to Asante Kotoko. It's the same coach, Didi Dramani. How will it look like if Didi Dramani comes here? This is former club anyway. Yeah. He comes here and does not fare well. What will be the technical decision that the club owners will be taking on him? He needs to make sure he gets it. If not, at least a draw here.
The interesting part is that this is a club that Didi Dramani actually won 2 Ghana Premier League trophies. And those are the 2 trophies that he's won. And he says that it's a nostalgic feeling coming back to the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. But Asante Kotoko have not lost in the league this season. So let's look at their last 5 games that they've played here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. It's been a good one for them. So far, they've drawn 2-2 with Mediema. Then they ended up beating Dreams by a goal to 0. Then the wall of Bechim United by 6-0 before drawing goalless with Brekum Chelsea. And their last game here saw them win 3-0 against Baseko Holy Stars. Kotoko, by that FA Cup defeat to Adriana, have not lost any Premier League game here.
Because in 90 minutes game it was 0-0. Kotoko has not been bad in terms of their home performance. When you look at their results, the only drawn game was against Brekum Chelsea. They have been beating people 1-0, 6-0, 3-0. I think they have been fairly good, but when you look at generally their own ambitions, they feel that there are some matches they should not want, draw or lose. And for me, that is where their big issue is. I think they have not been bad, and it is always difficult playing Kotoko against Kotoko, playing Kotoko in Kumasi, because This is a ground that is no-go area. I used to call it the Lions Den. For when I was a coach, it was always difficult.
He used to call it the Lions Den, but he came here and got a draw against Kotoko to the frustration of the fans with 11 wonders, and he has become an enemy to the Porcupine. But let's look at the away side, Hartlepool, and their last 5 games that they've played as well. They've been also solid and strong on the road. They are one of the best away sides in the Ghana Premier League. But their last 5 away games saw them lose to Karela by 2-0. Then they drew goalless at Adriana. It was a valuable point to them. Then they lost 1-0 at Mediama. Former Hearts midfielder Salim scored that goal for the Miners. Then they managed to beat Hohoe United in Hohoe by 1-0. And their last away game was at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. It's their home grounds as well, but it was an away game for them, and they won 3-0 against 11 Wonders. So they've been good on the road.
Understand me? 19 points, 5 wins, 4 draws. That's very good performance. Unfortunately, their home performance is very poor. They are away, they are very good. Look, House of all best game they played for the entire season, their best game was the game against Adriana Star. They should have beaten Adriana by 4-0 in the first half. They play, and because they had creativity in Martin Karikari, in George Paku, in Mauli Wayo, in Amankwa Befi. So in that game, they played these 4 players. So they have a lot of creativity, they have mobility, they have movement, they were passing very well, unlike other games. So they created a lot of, look, Adriana struggled. If there's a game Adriana has struggled this year, it's that game and that game in Midiama. Hasbro created all the chances, but once again, they wasted them. So as of all away have been, look, against Brekum Chelsea, they played so well. Mauli Wayo, Hamza Issa came to the party, they played so well, they would have scored even more. But for Florentines' performance. So when it comes to away performance, Hasselhoff has been very good this season.
Well, now you say Hartlepool have been very solid. One of the things that is giving Asante Kotoko fans a lot of confidence going into this game is their last 10 matches that they've played against Hartlepool. They've had some very, very good results. The last game actually saw them win 1-0 against Hartlepool at the Accra Sports Stadium. Yes. This time, this is the last 10 home games that Kotoko have played against Hartlepool. Hartlepool have had also some very good results and a lot of draws in this one. So most of the Phobians are saying they can actually snatch something from this game because Kotoko have won just 2, drawn 6 and lost 2 against Hartlepool here at the Babaira Sports Stadium.
Yeah, has a solid defense. Look, Ali Mohammed, Osei Sibe, if you look at other Yimana Mankwai player Baba Demo is playing, you are rest assured that quality. Benjamin Asari today is the one in post. Other games, Bechemo, Solomon Agbasi, the compactness. I mean, Abdul Karim, Hussein Mohammed, these are very combative midfielders. They work. Rafael Amponsa, very creative midfielders. They work without the ball as well. So when it comes to their away performance, ironically, they've been brilliant away as compared to Sharp Contra. 17th in terms of performance, the 16th team when it comes to home performances. So away they are good. All they need to do is convert a chance. So in this game, they are going to play very well and going to be very combative. Because they are very good away. This is one of the away games they are good, but this is against their bitterest rivals.
And this is one of the games that Hartlepool will feel very confident that they can get something from. But my colleague Josiah Okokwe is currently within somewhere around the stands where he's interacting with some of the fans. So let's cross over to Josiah and find out what the fans are saying ahead of this big clash.
So minutes away from kickoff, we're still live from the Baba Sports Stadium. And tell you what, it's a frantic atmosphere. It's electric over here, especially from the VIP section. We are the upper VIP wing. The fans are here. Both Hearts and Kotoko fans are here. And, you know, it's time to take the thoughts, interact with these fans and see what they're expecting from this KG much anticipated game. Hearts away at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And I'm now here with Nidako. He is a member of the Kumasi Asante Kotoko communications team. Good afternoon, Ni.
Good afternoon.
And first of all, you guys have done a massive job as far as, you know, attendance is concerned. But what do you have to talk or what do you have to say about this crowd over here? We've not kicked off yet, but just look at the crowd here.
Lovely. I'm so impressed with the attendance so far. I'm just coming from the back there, and I can tell you that there are a lot of spectators out there who are now fighting to get their tickets, to get their seats as well. And I think we really need to appreciate the supporters and how they have responded, even though with recent performance, though it's not good for the supporters, but at least they have listened to the plea, both the supporters, management, and the playing body.
Interested. But you are a Kotoko fan, out and out. I know you only have one wish, you know, for this game. But what are you expecting from this game?
I'm expecting a very good game. one from officiating. We did fair officiating from the officiating officials. Then again, we have been assured by our players, and we know they are going to deliver. The 3 points must stay here at the Bayra Sports Stadium, and for that matter, it should be Asante Kotoko's win.
And as a fan, are you still chasing the league title?
Oh yes, it is not over yet. We have 39 more points to fight for, and most especially Midiama drawing yesterday is also a motivational factor for we as Asante Kotoko, who are also contending for the league title. And it's not over yet. We will still fight to the end of the last game.
All right, so Kotoko fans believe that they have to fight until the very last game of the season. Midiama drew on Friday, so it opens the door wide for these two teams to actually close in on the league leaders. I have another fan here. You're a Phobian, right?
Yeah, I'm a Phobian.
What's your name?
My name is Abu Haruna. I come from Ankranso.
Oh, you're from Ankranso. Now, and then the coming one red net dorsal. Now, Phobia, dear, then I'm expecting, and then what share rivals, no, what are you expecting? Then I'm expecting from this game.
I'm say, and then the share yellow no and Kokona no sono, and I need you. Because Kokono share, I need Yanya brother, by yellow na share, and I need you, young born a very need to know. And Yamia share yellow.
It's a poor GDS and we near.
Oh, you were GDA because Ohia Kotoko share. We no sono, ye last Yinago way so, because Kotoko share we are, Yanuma Guase, and the boy, Mimi who say, you have 3 points at a quackra.
All right, but I say, so that's another fan who believes the Heart of Oak will return back to the capital with maximum point from the Super Clash. Mind you that in the reverse fixture, they lost by a lone goal. It was Morifin Donzo's goal from the penalty spot that gave them the win. And Heart of Oak still chasing revenge. I have here with me another Kotoko fan. Rabeni Michel. Bibi Aboko.
Yanko pardon.
And then me personal what just and that mood need to say.
Oh, mood there. You be na catch. Why said the Esikoya. For the first time, you who crowd a different crowd, Master Sports Stadium. It's another mood you good Makotoko for.
Now, in Comodia, no only fans no casa before game, no then and more can was some Zito anyhow. Yet nearby after FA Cup defeated. Then and would you come?
Oh, the Eddie won't come on say, and young one was say Zito anyhow. But still, I could talk about any match because yes. You heard your friend say Chelsea cry. Timer, I'm coach free one. Dimatio be fair team no, but with me the Champions League. At the end, Mzako to consult say Prince Abefano. Obey me the team no IBB.
Right, yeah, that's it.
Josiah Okoke would be in commentary position later when the game kick starts, but he was interacting with some of the fans. The coaches are here at the stadium. Prince also is leading Asante Kotoko because there's no Karim Zito and Masoud Didi Dramani of Heart of Oak. Both of them are optimistic of getting the 3 points. Coach, welcome. It's match day 22 against your bitterest rival, Heart of Oak. First off, you are coming into this game without your former head coach, that is Karim Zito. How does he feel?
Yeah, I think the boys have put it behind them. They know how this game is. Sometimes it happens this way. Not that the way that they want it, no, but they have to put it away and know and present Kotoko very well. So the boys are okay. Myself, I'm okay too.
You are winless in the last 2 games that you've played in the Ghana Premier League, a defeat at Heart of Lions and an FA Cup exit against Adriana. How important would it be to get back to winning ways?
Yeah, as you know, we got a very big followers and they're all worried. So we have to make sure, make them happy this time around. And the boys are ready for that.
When Adriana lost against Nation, you had the opportunity against Lions and you also didn't take it. How important will it be after Adriana drew against Midiama? How important will it be for you to win today?
Yeah, it will be a very good heads up for us because they've dropped some points and then maybe we close up the gap between us and them. So we will be very, very happy if we win this game to close that gap up.
And finally, you are coming up against one of the best defensive sides in the Ghana Premier League. How do you plan to break them down?
Yeah, we have kids that can do that job for us. We are happy with them, and practice this week has been very, very impressive. So we know we'll break that defense down.
Coach, wish you all the best.
Thanks so much.
Coach, match day 22 against your bitterest rival, Asante Kotoko. The last time you drew against Bechem United, you said it was a missed opportunity. Another one has presented itself. How ready is the team for this big clash?
I think that every week comes with its own anxiety and then its own preparedness. And so this is just one of them, but it is clouded by its own, pre-match festivities and then pre-match personalities and then pre-match character. And I think that what live to stay in these games is all about carrying your personality and also showing a tough mentality and showing playing character. And I think that this is what every coach, every player, every fan knows the importance of this game.
You won 2 league titles here in Kumasi. How does it feel coming back to the Baba Yara?
For me, I think that it's one of the very toughest grounds to play in because of its fluidity in terms of fans, both house fans and then the Kotoko fans. They show their enthusiasm, they show their ownership in terms of how much they like their clubs to triumph. And I think that this whips up the intensity and then the performance level of players. And so I just think that we need to live up to the pre-match billing.
Coach, we wish you the very best.
Thanks very much.
Well, the most anticipated match on the Ghana Premier League calendar is once again upon us. We are stationed at the famous Asafu Station to gauge and capture the mood of fans ahead of the super clash between Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak.
I will not come and play against Kotoko and I'll be expecting a defeat. I'll be expecting us to win the game. So it should be a must-win game for us. So I'll urge my fans, especially Hearts of Oak fans, to make sure they come in their numbers, come and cheer the team, and let's win the game.
Well, being a Kotoko fan, I'm expecting my team to win by a long goal difference, maybe 2-1 or 1-0.
Yeah, Kotoko has here tired, but recently, which means Kotoko inside the house, so determination, promise of the Amakotoko for the at the tower Bontin, I just have Kotoko being they are bored here, but if you back Kotoko has score like a bit way too near.
The house for 2 type plaza, but they are. Kotoko and a domatic ever come from. And I'm there cry. I don't to address a dear class a dear. You never show. And they are one pet to a house of folk. And I don't know.
House all do tell free as some can do and pay. And then Kotoko for home yet they cry, ever show Monday. You better say on Monday, you better win the ball in there. And into the mapper, maybe support to House of 2-1. Sure.
What I would say is Kotoko is certainly going to win for today's game. Certainly. And sure, I'm sure they are going to win.
Aqua one supporting is here to get Aqua one supporting is here to get it. Turns around, looks for support in Amo. He comes forward, goes past, is here to that's the brilliant goal. Kotoko up in the scoring.
Game in the last 5 matches there in the Premier League, only 1 game, and Hearts of Oak have an opportunity with the first goal here. Mauliwayo certainly gets it for the Phobians.
Akon lays one onto the path of Kwame Opoku. Can he score? And Opoku makes it 6 for Asante Kotoko.
And again, they spooled and Hearts of Oak have an opportunity with a second goal. And too many players fluffing opportunity. And this time has been backed at home for the second. And just as he was introduced into the game, Morifin Donsu. Sorry, Morifin Donsu! And the discipline and very much focus. Osesibe. It's 3-0. Goalkeeper sent the wrong way. Hearts of Oak.
In the heart of Ghana, a nation rich with
A Sunday special in the Ghana Premier League. The Ghanaian top flight takes center stage here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium with the biggest football rivalry in Ghana coming up between Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak. This is the super clash here in Kumasi. Beautiful weather on 33 degrees Celsius. This is indeed a super clash. Pleasant welcome to the garden city of Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital, known for its rich history and tradition, housing some of Ghana's premier health and educational facilities. And the beautiful historic story of Okomfo-Anokye is the big one here in Kumasi for visitors and newbies here in the Ashanti regional capital. Of course, here is a big business hub, and the undoubted reverence for the king is here for everyone to see. But it's something that brings everyone to gather in the garden city on special Sundays like this, then it is the football between two of the biggest sides in Ghana, Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko. This is the super clash for the 2025-26 season here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. If you just join us, pleasant welcome once again. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah Okokwe. We're your commentators for this big one here in Kumasi.
Good afternoon, Nana Dakwa Jesse. What a day we have, what an atmosphere we have here at the Baba Sports Stadium. Electric, breathtaking, and we're hoping that after 90 minutes, the story will definitely be historic.
It's been turbulent times for Asante Kotoko, having exited the FA Cup last weekend at this venue. The aftermath saw the exit of coach Karim Zito, who was reported to have resigned in a tale where some believe he was forced to resign. Prince Owusu has since taken over as interim coach for the Porcupine Warriors. They are winless in their last two competitive games, having lost by 3-1 to Hearts of Lions in their last Premier League game and exiting the FA Cup last weekend. For Hearts of Oak, they still know they're in the conversation for the Premier League title chase. After drawing with Bechem United in their last game at the University of Ghana Stadium, the Phobians remain confident because of their defensive resilience and solidity. They remain the best defensive organized setup in the Premier League this season. Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, it's not just about the bragging rights now, it's also about 3 points. It's about closing in on Mediaba Sporting Club, and that result in Takwa on Friday meant that these two teams, a win for either of these two teams can actually set up an interesting, end to the Ghana Premier League this season.
Mediama have given these two teams reason to believe it is doable after failing to pick maximum points in the rained off and replayed Matchday 22 game at the TNA, played on 2 occasions, on Friday evening and on Saturday morning, because on Friday the game was rained off at 1-1, but Mediama failed to make the most of it yesterday when they spotted a late penalty through captain Mubarak Yusuf, and in the process failed to extend their lead on the summit of the log.
Yeah, and it gives relevance and significance to this game, a drawing. I told you in that game that the neutrals will be hoping that that game would end in a stalemate, which in fact they had luck on the side of Mediama, but for Adriana, they still have their eyes on the prize, and it also gives these two teams a bit of hope, knowing that a win for either one of them would actually allow them to close in and then try and make something happen.
Hearts of Oak very present here in numbers. That's Asante Kotoko's lineup, familiar faces. Mohamed Kamara is in post. Esiedu returns from injury to play at left back. There's Lord Amwa at right back. Ensu and Samba in central defense. There's a 3-man midfield of Walid Husseini, Bedu and Jehu. 3-man attack of Saka Dawuda, Albert Amwa, the returnee, and Dogo. His first super clash since joining Kotoko.
Yeah, and that's a competitive lineup from Prince Owusu. And just look at that 3 midfield. The double pivot would certainly be Bedu and Jehu, but then Husseini could be given the license to roam and give those final balls to Amwa and then also Dawuda Saka.
Big responsibility on the shoulders of Prince Owusu. He's Kotoko's interim coach following the exit of Abdul Karim Zito. He was one of Zito's assistants together with Hamza Obin, and today he's got the responsibility of leading this team to do what they've been doing against their rivals in the last 4 seasons.
Yes, certainly, and there's a bigger stage for an audition. You'd be thinking for him, he really needs to impress if he wants, the management to consider him on a long-term basis.
This game is certainly in good hands. One of Africa's best referees recently officiated in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations between Nigeria and Morocco. Daniel Nilaye is our center man. He's assisted by Paul Otimaka and Seth Ableto, with Gideon Nikofi as our fourth referee for this evening's fixture here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Hatsabok have a lineup of a back four that has Adamu, Mohamed Ali, Esibe, and Emmanuel Amankwa completing the back four, shielded by Benjamin Asari. A three-man midfield of Hussein Afrani and Abdul Karim. Hamza Isa is leading the attack alongside Maoli Wayo and Martin Kakari.
The strongest Masoud Didi Germani could field, and it's still a potent attacking lineup between Maoli Wayo and Hamza Isa. You have 9 goals this season between them, and they will definitely be leading this attack for Accra Hearts. Martin Kakari could also be adding up something. He also scored not long ago in that 3-0 win against 11 Wonders.
Masoud Didi Dramani have already lost to Asante Kotoko this season, but he's also have his fair share of victory. He won in the top 4 after losing the President's Cup in the first round of the Ghana Premier League. He knows this terrain so well, having guided Kotoko to win the Premier League title during his reign as head coach.
And these are difficult moments, different generations, but the fans, clubs would always be expected you could deliver the ultimate for them and probably also take them to Africa, which is really, really key for them.
That one game you've been looking forward to on the football calendar domestically. That game that brings the nation to a standstill with all focus and attention here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. It's a super clash between Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak. Wondering what Abdul Karim seems to be telling Daniel Nilaye right now.
Yeah, obviously, just what any football lover would want. Just felt officiating. But for Nilaye himself, he's really announced his presence on the African continent in the last couple of months.
Hearts of Oak, dominant white with the rainbow colors and purple with Kotoko in their dominant red and white jerseys here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Benjamin Asari is leading the Phobians once again. No more rotation. In that last game they played, it was Solomon Agbasi who kept the pose in the drawn game against Bichim United. Asari returns to take his place as Nilaye takes a look at his watch and puts the whistle to his mouth. There we go. Game underway here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Is Kotoko who gets us going with Samba O'Neill launching a long one into Azabok's territory. First goal kick of the afternoon. Early incursion by the Kotoko captain, Samba O'Neill.
Yeah, it looks like a similar setup. You have both coaches going with a 4-3-3, but you always talk about the variations and how to work with the way they would always want to build up, involving Benjamin Asari.
Under Didi Dramani, they've been comfortable playing from the back. Try as they keep their defensive organization tight. They equally comfortable stringing passes and initiating moves from the back at the book.
Yeah, you talk about stable and consistent defense, and they are there. They are top of that table.
Hussein. Here is Martin Kakari, very good on the ball, tries to switch to Wayo. Good touch from Wayo. Hamza Isa for Hearts of Oak. Upon front, it threads one to Wayo. Kotoko takes possession. Here is Jehu. Good movement from Jehu. That's what to hang on. Lovely run. It's a fair challenge from Hussein. Hazabok will take possession, but Jehu stays down. Laye looks on without the foul, but I'm sure he's going to hold play for Jehu to be attended to, because the Kotoko midfielder has stayed down after that tackle on him.
And that was a robust tackle on Joe. Did so well, skipped past 3 players, but that was a fair challenge as well. And referee Daniel Mila was in close proximity to spot that.
Injury concerns for Asante Kotoko's Hubert Joe.
And that was the point where he skipped past a couple of players. Just look at that. It was a lovely tackle by Hussein. Yeah, caught all over the ball, but at a bit, of the ankle of Hubert Joe, and that was why he just went down, stayed there for some time now.
Beautiful scenes. That's the ever-present Porcupine Tertiary. They always bring in the vibe and the morale to these players. And I'll tell you what, they could be chanting throughout the entire duration of the game.
Yeah, they are. And sometimes even 30 minutes after the game ends, you find them there. They are vociferous, and they...
Afrani. Walid Husseini takes possession for Kotoko in the middle, tries to squeeze one for Amwa. Here comes Jewu, but the first time pass doesn't go. He's shoved off the ball. It's a clean challenge.
And there's one of the aspects of the game we should be expecting this afternoon, and it's the physicality which would always be present in the Super Clash. We've said it already, Jewu being subjected to some, heavy tackles there. But, all in all, you'd say these are fair challenges on him.
Saka Dauda, good turn. Aiming at Jewu. Lord Amwa makes the run, checks onto the right side, tries to swing in across. Flicked away by Amankwa. Here is Dogo Yakubu. Gets the throw in from the boot of Amankwa.
Oh, that's so well to hang on. Some exhibition of strength there from Dogo Yakubu, playing from the left-hand side today. He'll be taxed to be cutting in.
Esiedu goes with a long throw. Esibe heads it down. Miss kick from Patrick Esiedu. There is Emmanuel Amankwa for Hartsburg. Kakari, Abdul Karim to Afrani, switches to Kakari again down the right. He's got space, but he's got Asiedu to confront. Here is Kakari, tries to cut in, shoots, and it's straight to Kamara.
That's the easiest save Kamara could make all afternoon. So easy, but Kakari also love it. The fact that he would always check onto that left foot.
Some dignitaries, including New Hazabok Managing Director Julius Ben Emuna in the VVIP. Also present is Hazabok board member Alaji Moro Akambi. Yesterday they held a meeting at the famous Chapter 9 grounds at Asem in Kumasi, where the managing director spelled out his vision and what he intends to do in his new role.
Yeah, another clip there on Joe. So far, he's won the most fouls in this game.
Esibe gives away the ball to Amwa and is driving straight to Asari. Albert Amwa, first attempted goal from the Kotoko striker.
That's why they will have to keep an eye on him. Albert Amwa, so mobile, spontaneous at that point. Just hits it on the volley there.
Samba O'Neill coming under pressure. A bit of miscommunication between Samba and his goalkeeper, Mohamed Kamara. Here is Jewu. There's a brilliant switch to find Yakubu Dogo. And Lord Amwa is sprinting on the right side. He wants to provide an outlet. Dogo goes through the middle. And Jewu will pick it up. He sees Lord Amwa. That's what to find Amwa. Kotoko trying to initiate something positive. Here is Prince Bedu, sends in a cross. The clever header back by Amankwa to his goalkeeper, Asari.
You need some level of confidence to execute that from Amankwa. Yeah, he also kept his head up, and he saw that danger lurking right behind him. Just comfortably had to control that with a chest back to his goalkeeper. You talk about the most consistent department in this Hearts of Oak team, and it's certainly that defense with the most clean sheets in the whole of the division.
Kakari is a lovely ball to Hamza Issa. As Hussein picked up the ball trying to make space for Hamza, but went down and he stayed on. Laye is not looking at that direction, but he's got to call for Hussein to be attended to.
Yeah, it's similar to that foul or that tackle on Hubert Jewu some minutes to go, where he showed a bit of the ball and it was a clean tackle. This time, just no protection at all from Hamza Issa, and you could see the leg being stuck in there. I think that was Hussein there. He should be okay. He should be okay. And now you talk about the physicality, and we've seen this over the years, especially in the Super Clash, where you have some robust tackles and all that. I think the opening minutes has really given us a feel of what to expect in the remaining time.
Here's Ali. Not on the same page with Adamu, giving away possession so cheaply. Ali.
He expected that run from his teammate. That was never made.
Ansu wins the ball at the expense of Hamza. Sambo O'Neill falls to Kamara. There's a foul on Sambo O'Neill, but he stays on with Kakari going with his boots just going off.
It tells you how strong Samba is. They just felt that contact from Kakari. Kakari goes down, Samba doesn't. At the back.
Good play from Afrani. Here is Emmanuel Amankwa, brought down from behind by Saka Dauda, and Amankwa is unhappy with the challenge from Saka Dauda.
That was a bit reckless from Saka Dauda, right from the back of Emmanuel Amankwa. And Emmanuel Amankwa does well with the space here. He's trying to find an opening for himself. Until by Saka Dauda.
One player who has not played many games under Didi Dramani, that position has often been occupied by Amankwa Beif, but anytime he steps up, he lifts up to it, Amankwa.
Yeah, and you feel that there's some sort of restrictions, applied to his game now, where he doesn't really get that freedom to bump forward and add up to the attack. He's been taxed to do most of the defending from the right-hand side of defense.
There's a push on Jewu by Afrani. 10 minutes at the Baba Yara Stadium. Asante Kotoko nil, Hearts of Oak nil. Sambonio steps forward. Poor ball. Afrani takes over. Here is Maoli Wayo. Now Hussein. Kakari. It's a good tackle by Patrick Kesiedu. Kotoko gets the advantage.
Yeah, great tackle. Just timed the ball, won it perfectly. But Hussein wasting too much time on that ball. Kakari was asking for it. He was in space, but had to take one too many touches before finding him.
Hamza Issa will step up and join Prince Owusu. These two were assistant coaches under Didi Dramani, and now Owusu takes charge as interim head coach and Hamza deputizing. And here comes Saka Dauda, checks onto the 18-yard box with his left foot, but there's nobody in right to connect for Kotoko as Hearts of Oak tries to turn defense into attack. Lord Amwa curtails the movement of Wayo and steps forward. Here is Amwa to Jewu. Good interception from Hussein.
Yeah, they're making inroads now. They are making incursions. It's so easy for them. It's one long pass to the left-hand side. A cutback was good into the central area. A low Kotoko player attacking that area.
Lord Amos throw in. There's a flick on by Dogo and it's straight to Asari.
You talk about teams, maximizing the use of these long throws, and we've seen it. It's pretty rife these days. It was an efficient one.
It's a late and a clumsy challenge by Patrick Esedu on Hamza Issa. The two number 17s clashing with Esedu, the aggressor here.
That was a poor touch from Esedu. He does well. It is left foot. You're thinking that's his favorite foot. He should be doing better there, allowing Hamza Issa to just step in, just clatters into him.
Here's a player who is returning from injury. He's not had a clean bill of health in recent weeks. Colorful Phobians lighten up the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, and they like to be under the scoreboard, the Phobians, anytime there's a big one here at the Baba Yara.
You would always credit them moving up about 250 kilometers to support this team.
No goals, but still enjoying the vibe in the stands. Wondering what's going to happen if a goal comes.
That could send them into raptures at this point, but that's a lovely. You'll see the colours are quite colourful as well.
Martin Kakari to take the Asante free kick. Whips one into the box and Adamu heads it. Kamara and the Phobians have the open goal at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Baba Adamu, an unlikely scorer, puts the Phobians ahead. Here on 13 minutes, Asante Kotoko 0, Hartsburg 1. It is Baba Adamu. He set the Phobian fans into wild celebrations under the scoreboard. They've silenced the porcupines. Baba Adamu puts the Phobians ahead with that looping header, and Mohamed Kamara struggled to deal with it. It's Kotoko 0, Hartsburg 1. Prince Owusu and Hamza Issa have got a lot of thinking to do now.
Definitely, but then such a terrible ball to concede there by Kamara. Lost his footing. Just no man's land. A lovely delivery from Kakari and a glancing header. He had to improvise with his back facing post. Just look at that. Just flick that one. Counted on his luck, and I think Kamara is at fault for that one. His positioning let him down at that point. Just didn't know where and what he was doing at that point. And that is a lovely goal.
Kotoko tries to respond. Here is Dogo, but there's a foul against Dogo.
And you would expect that sort of response. When you talk about Bobada, he's even been playing at that makeshift left back position. He's naturally centre back, but when you talk about adding goals to the game, and that's just a lovely way to do it.
Just a season ago, he was playing in the lower divisions for Golden Kick in the Division 1. One of the best players for Golden Kick en route to that final where they lost to Asante Kotoko. So somewhere, somehow, he's got some scores to settle with Kotoko. He was in that Golden Kick team that lost painfully to Kotoko in the finals of the FA Cup last season, and he's put the Phobians ahead in the Premier League game here at the Baba Yara. Here comes Kakari, the provider of the first goal. Kakari onto his left foot, checks onto the 18-yard box. Hussein goes for it, but Amwa gets it away. Here is Abdul Karim to Hussein. Checks onto Wayo. Wayo with a cutback, but there's nobody for Hartsburg.
Not too acute from that Wayo, from that left-hand side. Lovely way to just work their way into the third half again.
Walid Fuseni is trying to find Albert Amwa, but Benjamin Asari does well to get the ball out of danger for the Phobians.
And some confident defending there. from the heart of the shot stopper. The flick with the head, then had to just hit that one in field. Has the confidence to execute it.
Coming into this game, the talking point was that the last time Hazleburg won a game here at the Barbara Stadium was back in the 2020-21 season. But this lead will forever charge these fans till something else happened from the Kotoko angle. It's a corner for the Phobians.
And it was that goal, that just sparked that momentum for them. And ever since they've not looked back, we've seen them with some good inroads. We've seen them making some good incursions, lovely string of passes from them. So much pressure now.
Hard Sabot corner is Mauli Wayo to take. Wayo goes low. Abdul Karim is late for it as Dogo takes possession for Kotoko. Sends one to Jehu. The ball is meant for Saka Dauda, but he ends up with Benjamin Asari.
I think that was a hit on Saka Dauda, expecting the referee to award a foul. A free kick for him, perhaps, but nothing of that sort. Now Benjamin Asari also playing as a sweeper. It gives them some assurance whatever they bump for.
I've seen Daniel Laye flashes yellow card. He flashes yellow card to Emmanuel Amankwa.
I think the replay gives us the benefit and just that.
An outstretched arm into the face of Patrick Essiedu.
I think it was a good call. He had to protest initially, but that arm was in a natural position, just all over the face of Essiedu. That slows him down a bit after going into the box of the referee.
Essiedu to take the free kick. He bends one into the box. It's flicked away by Esibe. Esibe indeed had the final touch. It's a corner. Sambo O'Neill appeals as a handball.
It's the entire Kotoko team appealing for a handball. At that point, the protest will continue, but just look at the replay again. It was a hit into the box, and an arm goes up there. Not so clear, not sure whose arm it was.
Kotoko's corner to be taken by Patrick Essiedu. Every player of the Kotoko set up in the Hazleburg area with the exception of Kamara. With about 7 of them in the 18-yard box.
Desperate for equalizer.
Essiedu swings one in. Header comes in from Ensu. Here is Essiedu again on his weaker right foot and is straight to Asari.
That's not beating him. That's not beating Benjamin Asari. He's really been on alert, but another decent delivery into the box. The header back across the face of goal. Kotoko showing everything now. They really need to claw their way back.
It's 20 minutes at the Baba Yara Stadium. Kotoko, the home side, trailing the visitors. Hazleburg, their rivals, by 1-0. Scored by Adamu. Hazleburg player down. Abdul Karim. It's been a massive attendance for Asante Kotoko this season. The fans have really showed up this afternoon, and the disappointment for them will be they are trailing their rivals by a goal after 21 minutes.
Yeah, but they'll still keep their beliefs high. This fixture seldom comes around. In 9 months, you only have it twice, so they always want to enjoy this one when it comes around.
Here is Afrani. Lord Amwa takes possession from Adamo, sprinting down the right. Here is Amwa charging forward. Lovely run to go past his marker. Cross intercepted by Ali. It's a poor challenge from Walid Husseini on the goal scorer. Baba Adamu is a foul. Free kick for Hartsabok.
Yeah, clear trip there. Baba Adamu really been decent, very consistent at the back. And as well, those long limbs trying to use it to his advantage. And Walid just not having any of the ball at all.
Kotoko recorded 9 wins across 21 games with 8 draws and 4 defeats. But they've been one of the best attacking sides in the Premier League with some 28 goals scored. Hartsabok have come up with a fair substitution. Hamza Issa makes way for George Parku. Concerns about Hamza's fitness necessitating this substitution by Didi Dramani.
Yeah, minutes ago he complained about a knock. I think that's the reason why he's been put off. When that could also tactically affect how they've set up, because that would move Mauliwayo into that central area with Kakari and then Paku playing on either side of the attack.
Kamara gives the ball away to Mauliwayo. Chance for Hartsabok to get a second. Mauliwayo flops the opportunity.
It was a golden chance to put his side 2 up.
A perfect gift handed Wayo. Could have slotted it first time.
Exactly. He just didn't know what he was doing at that point. Too many touches for me. Moved, made that angle even too tighter for himself. Just look at that. Another tight angle and trying to just cut that one back into the danger zone.
Too many touches, Wayo. Here is Bedu, also playing in his first Super Clash since joining Kotoko from Kesben, from Nations FC. Walito, Saka Dada, Walid Husseini up. Hartsabok very well organized defensively.
Yeah, and that's what Neymar Walid gives you whenever he's on the ball. He's able to find those spaces, with so much ease, able to ghost his markers as well. Just that one impression really causing trouble for Hartsabok.
Amos header away by Ali. It's been too physical. And Kotoko's Lord Amwa will get a yellow card for this rash challenge on George Parku. But what this decision means is that Asante Kotoko's right back and left backs have all been yellow carded after 25 minutes in this contest.
Yeah, and you're wondering how Masoud Didi Dramani and his technical team would want to take advantage. You have Parku playing on the either side. You also have Kakari also playing on one side, of the attack, and that's where you just need to take or allow them to take the ball to the fullbacks. You just try to frustrate them.
So Lord Hilaria Dabo has been asked to warm up. Not the only one, said Kojo saying. So Kotoko will have concerns in midfield because it's obvious that Walid Husseini, Prince Bedu, Jehu are not doing what must be done right. They've been dominated by Hartsabok's midfield.
Yeah, it's a midfield throw. We spoke about the variations, but then Walid Husseini will always push up, and that double pivot of Bedu and Jehu not really been effective.
Ali wins the ball from Dogo. Jehu shoved off the ball by Adamu. Is a clear push, but a fair one, of course, according to Daniel Lai. Here is Jehu. Tries to go long and straight to Asari.
Now the attack of Kotoko looks a bit non-existent. they are not able to find men in wide spaces now. It's becoming too comfortable for Accra Hearts of Oak at this point. We're not seeing those good balls, defense splitting passes anymore.
Hearts of Oak have not scored many goals this season. That goal scored by Adamu is the 16th goal of the season for Hearts of Oak in 22 games. But one thing that has done the magic for them is their solidity at the back. They've conceded only 7 goals across 22 games. 7 goals for Hearts of Oak. It tells you how robust, organized and solid they've been at the back.
Yeah, let me bust your bubble. In those 7 goals actually have come in 5 games, so they've kept 16 clean sheets so far this season. And we speak about the most consistent department of this team, and certainly as a defense, which is also being led by the Black Stars #1, Benjamin Asari. It's always going to be the defense. Even when they don't score, definitely the chances of keeping a clean sheet is quite high.
Too physical from Walid. Husseini on Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim recently lost his new baby after the wife had delivered, had to be given some rest. An emotional lead by Didi Dramani. It's a red card for Emmanuel Amankwa. Early shower for the Hearts of Oak right back. It's the second yellow card. He's already in the books of Daniel Laye for an initial foul. So that's the tackle on Saka Dauda. That is a clear foul.
Clumsy.
It's a stamp on Saka Dauda. You don't go and punish Amankwa. That's a silly card to take.
Yeah, very reckless from the Hearts of Oak right back. He just, they get himself sent off, but then also definitely could cost his team. There's quite more time in this one. 62 minutes plus added on time. When
the talking point among these fans is whether he deserved the card or not. Some might think he doesn't deserve, probably because they don't have the benefit of watching the replay. But the bigger question will be, how can they survive the remaining minutes with 10 men against Kotoko's 11?
It's going to be a tall order for them now. It's going to feel like, a century. You're talking about just 60 minutes remaining in this game, just because that's so reckless, clumsy. So Saka Dauda trying to move away, peeling away from Amankwa. He had no business whatsoever to stretch that leg. There was no way he was going to win that ball. Really cost the team.
Didi Dramani would have so much to do than initially planned. He's got to go through the entire remaining minutes with 10 men. We've spoken about how they've been solid at the back, but against one of the best attacking teams in the Premier League with 10 men, it will be difficult. Something that will play on the minds of these fans here at the Baba Yara Stadium.
The only advantage now is you have a 1-goal lead, but how do you defend your lines with 10 men against this ruthless Asante Kotoko attack? And that's where the problem is. You'd have to do it, minute after minute. You'd always have to keep your concentration levels, very, very high. Like, it was clumsy. It was just clumsy from Emmanuel Amankwa. He shouldn't be doing that, and that would definitely lead to some tactical tweaks already. We've seen Hamza Issa being taken up after picking up a knock. He's been replaced by Paku, but defensively, you're wondering, who are they going to sacrifice? Who will go off? Because now you need someone to slot in at that right back role.
We're going to see the tactical tweaking from Didi Dramani, what he's going to do with 10 men moving forward here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Gone past the half-hour mark here. Kotoko trailing the Phobians by that solitary goal scored by Baba Damu. Samba Oneos tries to step up for Saka Dauda. Too much on that ball. After 30 minutes, it's 1 goal for the away team, but they have to endure with 10 men for the remaining minutes because Emmanuel Amankwa just got sent off for a second bookable offense.
And you look at the tactical position and nothing has really changed. side of the pitch looks a bit vacant. You're wondering who would slot in over there for Masoud Didi Dramani. Maybe he doesn't want to tweak anything yet. Maybe he just wants to allow the team to play, for some time, just adjust to the situation, which is very, very key as well.
Kakari. Here is Abdul Karim. He's giving the ball to Afrani, who gives it away now. Bedu. So I Sedu. One of those players also on a yellow card. Enso. Joe. Kotoko have played 10 home games this season. They are yet to lose at the Baba Yara Stadium, but the Phobians have pegged them back here. Here's Joe. 6 wins and 4 draws so far for the Porcupines this season here. Here is Dogo. Joe. Amwa. Sambon was delivering to the box, and Ali cleverly shields the ball and allows Asari to pick it up. That's clever thinking from Ali.
Yeah, he's instructing them, you need to keep your concentration level very, very high at this point. He does well, reads the ball carefully, shoots it for the goalkeeper.
Samba steps forward, finds Jehu, goes past Abdul Karim, driving forward in confidence now. Here is Lord Amwa to Enso. Switches to Esiedu, but ball is stopped by Paku. With a foul against Amwa for bringing down Kakari.
Yeah, it was a sloppy way to give away possession. Kotoko, they have the numerical advantage at this point, and you need to be holding on to the ball. You can see Didi Furious over there.
So that red card will force Didi Dramani into substitution. He's bringing on Yaman Kwabefi for Mohamed Hussein. The Phobians will need to double up defensively because they are a numerical disadvantage. Hussein gets a tap from Didi, because that substitution is purely not because of performance but for tactical reasons. It's Samba against Maoli Wayo, and Kamara is quick to react. Wayo must have left something late on Kamara's head, and the goalkeeper goes down.
It was a bit late upon arrival. Wayo just tailing the defender. He tried hitting that ball, even where it was in the arms, in possession of Kamara. He wasn't going to give up, but Samba does well just to block his path, allowing Kamara to step out and just grab that one.
Lord Amwa for Kotoko. It's a foul against Dogo. He pulled Adamu. It was very glaring. That's how the goal scorer.
You don't allow yourself to be frustrated at this point. If you have the advantage, the only advantage for Hazlevock now is the fact that they are, one up, but they are doing everything decently. We spoke about the fact that the right back position was vacant, and we knew that tactical tweak would come.
Here's Hazlevock's Martin Kakari. Tries to squeeze one for Paku. Not too sure was the best of options. Now Jehu sends a long one aiming at Albert Amwa. Asari with a commanding header away for the Phobians. Back to Jehu in the middle for Kotoko. Kotoko's most lively player so far. Here's Dogo. Dogo drives one and it goes just over the bar for a goal kick.
And that was quick transition. That's what they need to be doing now. whenever Hartlepool step forward, they leave the gaps behind. You need to be attacking those gaps. This time, Dogo checking onto that left foot. A bit of power there, but lacking accuracy.
Yet to open his current account since joining Asante Kotoko in the second transfer window. Henry Enso has gone down, and there's blood coming from just oozing the face. He's bleeding profusely. I'm sure someone used an elbow on him, Henry Enso.
I think that was a clash of heads, and he should be fine.
Masih Didi Dramani knows the remaining minutes will be crucial, having been forced into an injury-based substitution and also forced to another substitution through the red card to Amankwa.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 substitutions already.
Good delivery from Kakari, and that header from Adamu. I'm thinking that camera underrated. Yeah. Where was the marking?
Exactly, and his positioning there, a bit questionable, Kamara. He should be staying on his line. It's either you're coming out to punch that ball, and he wasn't closer to the ball at that point, but we need to credit Babadamu for that thinking over. There was a glancing header, improvising to head downward. A bit thumping there.
They ain't giving up. Down, but still vociferous. Knowing too well that with the numerical advantage, the tie could turn around any time for these fans.
You'd always be hopeful. Maybe a Kotoko fan. You talk about the fact that
Black Stars technical director Wilfred Schaefer and Revela, the new Black Stars assistant coach,
I think they could be pleased with the performance they've seen from the Black Stars goalkeeper already. Who's not also doubling up as a sweeper. We've seen him make some decent clearances, as a last man though.
And this man will be hoping that the results stay same, and that will be a big statement in his tenure as the managing director Julius Emuna.
Yeah, especially beginning your tenure not long ago when you have the super clash, coming around, and a win would really, really be good for him. As the club also chases down Mediamark at the top of the table, for him it would really personally be a good achievement.
Confirmation of Abdul Karim's yellow card. So a couple of yellow cards in the game, eh?
Yeah, we've spoken about the physicality again. We saw this earlier challenge. Then another one, this time on Hussein. We've known the Super Clash to be, a game where it's always physical, it's always tense. The intensity, we saw one on Emmanuel Amankwa, who just got himself sent off as well. Then that one from Afrani again. And at the heart of it, you always find someone like Jehu in there. A couple of hard tackles, and that's what the fans love to see at some point. It's always part of the Super Clash, and today's game hasn't been an exception.
It's not looking good for Hamza. He's got a bandaged foot at this point. Hussein will be thinking he had some more business to do on the pitch before Didi took him off.
It's always the most painful time for any player at all in a game where you have to be the pawn. You have to be sacrificed due to a player or a teammate being sent off.
Samba's delivery in, headed down by Baifi. 5 minutes before the break at the Babayara Stadium in Kumasi. Asante Kotoko nil, Hartlepool 1 in the Super Clash.
At this point, just 4 minutes before recess, and you can still see Didi Dramani on the touchline, and he's not really had a feel of his seat since this game started.
It's not looking good for Henry Enso. Wondering if he can come back. Wayo, that's a good clearance from Patrick Essiedu, timely from the Kotoko left back.
Yeah, just when Wayo was about to hit that one before the ball drops, it does well to intervene. Goes down early. Smart thinking there. But then the bravery, she just hit that one out. It was a good ball. And then the earlier touch with the head from Wayo. And just look at that. Goes down early. Hits that one out.
Wayo was just about to pull the trigger, but it was stopped in his tracks. Samba O'Neill switches to Lord Amwa. Good movement from the Kotoko right back. Tries to set up Jewu, but the pass didn't get to him. Ball is cleared by Adamu, only as far as Essiedu, who heads it down for Saka Dauda. Back to Essiedu. Now Jewu goes with a drive, but it's gone high over the bar. Disappointing from Jewu. Is a goal kick.
Everybody asking questions now about how to vote, doubling up each and every time they are in possession. And this time you could see about 3 players just swarming around Hubert Jewu, allowing him to have that clean strike he was hoping for.
Asari's delivery. Paku has the ball down. Wayo puts one down for Kakari. Steps up against Sambo O'Neill. Kakari wants to take the initiative. He goes down from the challenge of Sambo O'Neill. It was right outside the box. It was a foul, but Daniel Laye was very close. He's going to reach his pocket.
That's the foul again. It's the replay. Was it on the line?
It was Sambo O'Neill right on the line. He had to take one step before he got into the box. So that's the foul right there before he made that move into the box. It's a foul for the Phobians just on the edge, on the right side of attack. Lucky Kamara, his captain, didn't commit himself. And these fans, I'm sure at a point they were thinking that we have a penalty.
You could hear the loud, scream there, the loud cheers there after Kakari went down. But I think it's Sambo O'Neill who would feel a bit relieved after, that free kick was awarded right on the edge of the box.
Musa Hamzat has taken the place of the injured Henry Kwame Ansu, who got a cut in the face and had to be taken off. Both teams being forced to make substitutions through injury. But it's Azabok who are playing to a numerical disadvantage following the red card to Emmanuel Amankwa. Free kick, Hatzabok. Kakari delivers and it's straight to the side net.
I was trying to go for goal from that acute angle. Martin Kakari ask about the technique to hit that one, and it would always going to demand a lot to beat a goalkeeper like Kamara. Yeah. Questionable positioning for the first goal, but I doubt this one was going to beat him.
Esibe's header. Albertamo has been a virtual passenger in the game. He's been policed well by Esibe and Ali. Yet to feel any impact of Amwa is a poor ball from the Kotoko captain. Indication of 4 minutes additional time by Gideon Nikofi, our fourth referee. Wayo showing great desire, but it comes to nothing.
Really working his socks off, playing as a lone striker in this game. Wayo.
Here is Prince Bedu in the middle for Asante Kotoko. He's become a mainstay in that Kotoko midfield since joining from Nations. The likes of Hilary Adabo now have to struggle for places. Good drive from Bedu, but this can't beat Asari on any day.
Yeah, certainly not beating Asari, but it was a good attempt from a distance. Bedu, the last goal he scored was quite from a shorter distance though, but that was a good try. You talk about that quality of winning balls, but he still has this one as well. But that would take quite a lot to beat Asari from there.
Sambo O'Neill plays himself into trouble. He wins the sympathy of referee Daniel Laye. We're into first minute of stoppage time. Kotoko still trailing and chasing that equalizer before the break. Esiedu's ball stopped by Abdul Karim. Walid Husseini. Bedu sends the ball in and straight to Benjamin Asari. The Kotoko midfielder has gone down. Asari will stay calm and allow referee to take the final decision.
I think it was a late challenge for Mauli Wayo. They were trying to win that ball. He was thinking that Bedu showed too much of it. Well, he had a luxury of winning it, but just clattered into Bedu.
He looks to be shocked with the trend of events. Kotoko to be trailing at half-time by 1-0. He seemed not to believe what he's seeing here.
I don't know what he's actually talking about, but whatever his expression says is pretty unbelievable, you know, from that expression.
Some confusion there, but the free kick is taken. Headed down by Hamza Atta, but ball is cleared away by Hadzavok. Wayo beats Prince Bedu to it. He's got the pace, Mauli Wayo, but Esiedu comes up with a very clean tackle.
The second time we've seen him in this game with that last-ditch tackle, Esiedu to prevent harm.
Sends a long one looking for Dogo. Here is Dogo. Unable to stay on his feet, he's lost it to Baba Adamu.
And what was the chance again? You talk about Mauli Wayo, he's really, you know, having those feisty challenges with the defense of Kotoko.
George Parku. The goal scorer Baba Adamu with a long cross away by Samba O'Neill. Here is Walid Husseini. Goes down from the challenge of Amankwa Befi and stays down as Kotoko tries to move forward. Dauda Saka is found by Kakari, but Daniel Laye will hold on and attempt to Walid Husseini. Neymar was caught by a late challenge by Amankwa Befi.
And Befi quickly had to flee the scene, you know, not to attract that yellow card. Saka Dauda again with Kakari. Good for that one.
Here is Bedu to Musa Hamzata. That sums it up for the first half of the Super Clash, the much anticipated Super Clash between the biggest rivals in Ghana football, Asante Kotoko and Hadzavok. Half-time, and the Phobians are in the lead. Ketsi, Baba Adamu's header. We've not had many clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Hadzavok are going into the break with 10 men after Emmanuel Amankwa was red-carded. But for these fans, it will be hard to endure to the end of the game with 10 men. Half-time at the Baba Yara Stadium. Asante Kotoko 0, Hadzavok 1.
And the most important statistic would definitely be for them, but Kotoko, they've really been limited short from, you know, long range, and that's 5 shots to 1 for Hadzavok. But then the shot on target also in favor of Asante Kotoko, telling you that they've put, you know, Benjamin aside to work for most of the time. And obviously after Emmanuel Amankwa got sent off, you would be surprised that larger percentage of possession, you know, have gone to Asante Kotoko. But it's been cagey, it's been even. Well,
so Asante Kotoko have dominated in possession at 54%. We've had 4 yellow cards, 1 yellow for the Porcupines and 3.
Minutes of exciting football here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. And guess what? Hadzavok are leading Kotoko by a goal to nil. Goal scored by Baba Adamu. I've been joined by the assistant coach and goalkeeper trainer of Hadzavok, Najao Isa. Najao, you're leading by a goal to nil. I mean, take us through that goal. It was a good one.
Of course, it was a perfect rehearsals execution. I think we have rehearsed this and then it came to pass.
Now you've been given a red card, so you're down by a man. Does that change the second half approach?
Well, we play with a structure, and we are going to keep to our structure and then to our game plan. Well, it will change tactically a bit, but we need to do some adjustments and still control the game with or without the ball.
Of course. Now, I mean, let's talk about the red card itself. Do you think it was, the right decision from referee Daniel Lai?
Well, it's a decision of the referee, and we have to let it be.
Of course. So, second half, what should we expect?
Well, we expect a very exciting game, and we are going to improve upon our decision making more, because now we know we are down by a man. We need to actually, whether we are down or we are the same level, we need to control the game still, because once a team is playing with a structure, you actually know exactly what you are doing, and we are going to keep to our team structure, and then you see a better football in the second half.
Well, Naja, we wish you the very best for the second 45 minutes. Heart of Folk are leading by a goal to nil here. Baba Demu scored a beautiful header, and that has actually given Heart of Folk that lead. We are waiting for the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko, Hamza Obain, who will be joining us shortly. But it has been an interesting game here. 45 minutes of some excitement, but it is Heart of Folk who have actually gotten the most important statistics in football. They are leading by a goal to nil. Hamza Obain has now joined me. Hamza, you're down by a goal to nil. First of all, do you think goalkeeper Kamara could have done better on that occasion?
Well, of course, he should have come out for the ball, but looking at the game, it was a late anticipation that he used. That why he considered. But we talked to him that he should come back. It's part of the game. So we are going inside the next game and then next half and then put more effort.
Now you have a man advantage. Heart of Folk being shown a record. Does that change your tactics and system in the second half?
Of course, there will be a big change in our play, and then inside the second half, we are going to deploy a different strategy of which we are going to equalize and then add up another goal.
Okay. Do you think you've been blunt up front, especially Albert Amoah a bit quiet because normally he's explosive?
Of course, the flow from the midfield is not coming. That's why the striker is out of play. So inside the recess, we are going to talk to them and then put on a strategy of which they are going to feed him more for him to get the
well, wish you the best for the second half. Hamza Obain is the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko. They are currently down by a goal to nil against Heart of Folk. We take a quick breather. When we return, Ignatius Osei and Jeffrey Asari will join me for the first half analysis. A lot of entertainment here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. It is the Super Clash, and currently Asante Kotoko are down by a goal to nil. Hartlepool are leading them. I'm getting a lot of messages because the other Premier League clubs are also very much interested in this game. Kwesiedu, the CEO of Gold Stars, has sent me a message that he's watching on TV3. I know the likes of Moses Armour of Mediema are all watching keenly. My name is Mutala Yakubu. This is TV3, and it's the Ghana Premier League. So here with Ignatius and Jeffrey. Let me start with you, Ignatius. I mean, Hamza Obey, the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko, just confirmed that goalkeeper Kamara could have done better with that goal. From what you watch, do you think he could have done a bit?
I think he has two decisions to make because his starting position as a goalkeeper was fantastic. Now, either you come for the ball, if you are not coming for the ball, you step back. In both ways, he didn't do it. That's where the problem is. He didn't come for the ball, neither stepping back. So for me, it is his problem because his starting position from the ball was good. The ball was not a ball I see he could have come for it. So the only thing goalkeepers will do is to retreat, which he didn't. And for me, that's where the problem is.
Now, House of Folk clearly started the better of the two sides, dominated possession, got that free kick, and they made the most out of it. Baba Ademu, the left back, giving them the lead.
Yeah, once again, I mean, you and I know my position on goalkeeper Kamara. This is not the first time he made that mistake. He's been doing that. As a goalkeeper, before you come forward, you must be determined and certain the number of steps you can parry the ball if the ball is headed beyond you. Always he's getting it wrong. That was a bad goalkeeping for him, Dale. But House of Folk has been solid. Look, you realize that Asibe had a mistake. He passed wrongly to Hubert. And then Ali, after that, they were comfortable with the ball. And the midfield, Abdul Karim have been superb. Hussein Mohammed of the substitution has been able to pick the ball very well, pass brilliantly without the ball, closing down spaces very well. Upon Franny, brilliant. So Kotoko have been struggling. Prince Bedu has been struggling. Hubert Joe himself has been struggling. They can't create anything. So you realize that Betamwa has been a liability, has just been running. And I always say that when you're a striker, the supply is not coming, drop a bit. Create the movement, let your defender chase you. But they are in stagnant. Dogo the same thing. Dogo the better thing was one flick to goalkeeper Benjamin Asar. Apart from that, he's been ineffective. So House of Folk have really controlled it. Even 10 against 11. Look at what it is. Stability at the back. When the midfielder get a ball, a long ball to Matikari, he hold that play very well. He moves. Goalkeeper Kamara again, the ball he gave to Mauli Wayo, a cheap ball. That could have been a second goal.
Mauli didn't make use of that ball because it was an opportunity.
So I think
an opportunity for him to bury.
I think in these games, if you get this as a free gift, you punish them.
You take it.
Make it a month of love.
Yeah.
You punish him. You punish him, but he didn't.
It was a good start for Heart of Folk. Yeah. Then an incident happened that has changed the course of the game. Heart of Folk right back, Emmanuel Amankwa, has been sent off for 2 offenses. The first one, came early in the game. Then the second one was a stamp on Jehu. I mean, from what you saw again, do you think referee Daniel Lai had a spot on?
I think if you go with the letter of the law, I think he's spot on. But for me, what I always talk about game management from referees in the early of the exchanges, he was giving warnings here and there. So I felt from my position as a coach, I put myself in the shoes of Didi Dramani, who I will always be frustrated that why would the referee go with the letter of the law when it is my team? But when it is the opponent, he goes with the game management. And for me, if you go with the letter of the law, he is spot on. But when you go with the management aspect of the law, of the game, I think he is something.
Of course. Now, if Asante Kotoko wants to get back into the game, what should they do in the second half?
Asante Kotoko, they need to be aggressive. Kotoko to be aggressive, they need to be quick. The lack of mobility and quickness and pace and intensity in Kotoko team is their problem.
It is not that House of Folk is controlling the game defensively.
Yes, but
you have to agree to that too.
Coach, you know that what defenders hate
can have our own
quickness from the
We can have our own debate after this one, but the players are coming back onto the pitch, and the second half will start pretty shortly. So I hand you over back to our team of commentators, Nana Dakwa Jesse and Josiah Okokwe. See you after 90 minutes.
We are back for second half action here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. The super clash between Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak. The Phobians went into the break leading 1-0 from Adamu's opening header. They've gone on to lose one man through the red card in Emmanuel Amankwa. They've got the next 45 minutes to endure with just 10 men. But the first half didn't see so much from Albert Amoah. He looked a pale shadow of himself, but he's actually not the same Albert Amoah who left Ghana for Libya a couple of months ago.
Yeah, but a good thing was that he scored upon his return. You remember that goal, that spectacular, overhead kick he scored against Basque Stars. It's just that today Hearts of Oak are doing a decent job defensively, trying to isolate him, and the deliveries as well are going.
Substitution for Kotoko. Walid Neymar Fuseni is out for Morifin Donzo, and you recall that Morifin Donzo actually scored his debut for Asante Kotoko in that reverse fixture at the Accra Stadium in the first round. He's going to be a second time lucky against the Phobians, Donzo.
Yeah, perhaps the last one was from 12 yards out. It was a penalty, but this time Hearts of Oak had defended so diligently now. Kotoko are not even able to have touches in the opposition box, and it's becoming a problem for them. Now we've seen quite a number of shots being hit from a distance. Biju, Jewu and Co trying to catch Benjamin Asai, which is quite difficult to do. But then you can see Prince also throwing in more attackers, which means that he still is chasing this game.
Second half underway here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Kotoko trail Hearts by 1-0. Here is Sambo nil. Amoah beaten to it by Esibe. Lord Amoah on his bike on the right side. Here comes Amoah being charged down by George Parku. It was Afrani who went in with a tackle. It's a free kick for Asante Kotoko. They want to make early incursions into the game in the second half.
And his energy, it's been doubled so far by Kotoko. Good move there by Amoah. He knows he has the space to beat Afrani, and Afrani just not allowing that to happen. They just have to bring him down.
Free kick for Asante Kotoko. They want an early response from the onset of the second half. It is Lord Amoah to take. Free kick. A lot of tension in that Kotoko 18-yard box as Amoah readies to deliver. Lord Amoah bends one, is away by the goal scorer Damu. Asiedu to Amoah. Foot up against Lord Amoah.
Yeah, he shouldn't go in for that, Lord Amoah. Earlier on, it was a terrible delivery into the box, not that good of, that quality that could have been met by a teammate. And that high boot there, nearly catching the Hearts of Oak player.
Musa Hamza to Saka returns it to Hamzata, who goes back to Mohamed Kamara. Here's Lord Amoah. Hubert Jewu loves to drive his team forward. He finds up Esiedu. Morifin Donzo has fouled Osei Sibe.
We are seeing flashes of those runs already from Donzo, something Amoah has failed to do throughout this game, and it's one thing that Hearts of Oak will need to be wary of. He loves to play off the shoulders of the defenders. It makes it so difficult, to track him. Always mobile, always running into the channels as well.
Samba shows too much of the ball to the Phobians, and they've lost possession. Here is Wayo to Kakari, lovely skill. Here is Kakari. Wayo just can't sort out his foot to get the ball in.
That was a good move. Kotoko being sloppy from the back. Whatever they tried to play from the back, it becomes suspicious, and they're giving away too many balls. We saw Kamara give away a ball to Wayo in the first half, and this time around, gifting Hearts of Oak
the ball. Abdul Karim twisting and turning, looking for the right opening to blast, but he sends one to Paku. Adamu gets the ball in, headed back by Samba O'Neal. Here is George Paku. Kakari wants to shoot, and it's a disappointing one from Martin Kakari. And they're allowing them too many touches now, despite the fact that they are playing with a numerical disadvantage. It's just confident now, just reeking for Hartsville. And you could see the front trio of Paku, Wayu, and then also Kakari interchanging play, positioning, making it difficult for Kotoko defense to just track their runs. Baidu onto the path of Esiedu. Delivers a long cross into the Azabuk area. Albert Hamwa heads it down looking for Donzo, away by Esibe. Abdul Karim, but Esibe gets it away into Kotoko's area. Sambo O'Neal allows Hamzata to nod it back to Kamara. And it's evident, you can see Hartsville trying to play the long balls, despite the fact that it's always a mismatch as far as height is concerned. You look at Wayo and the two central defenders of Kotoko, but he does so well. He's a fighter, always fighting for the balls. Throw into Hartsville. That's the early attempt from Martin Kakari, just blasting it over the bar. It was a good technique. Good technique from Kakari. Here is Kakari. Can't get to Wayu with that pass. Albert Samoa, he's come so deep to get involved in the action. He picks up Albert, Lord Armour. There's Donzo and Dogo in the middle. Kotoko playing with three typical strikers at this point. Jehu appeals for a handball. Lai doesn't think so. But Jehu takes possession again. Goes past Abdul Karim. Here is Jehu. Good run from Kotoko's midfielder, but the effort is straight to Asari. Calm goalkeeping from the Azabuk captain. They had to really giving the ball away cheaply in a very, very dangerous area. It was a bad place to lose the ball, but Jehu a bit more diagonal. Something we're not seeing Kotoko play with. He does well. With that pace, a bit of space for him to operate. Armour. That's what to hang on and win the corner for Asante Kotoko. Great show of resilience by Albert Armour. That's what you want to see from the striker. That's what you want to see from the top mass man. Just involve him in the play, get the balls to him, allow him, to take on players. That's where the confidence will come from. Saka Dauda to take Kotoko's corner. That bends one in. Osei Sibe heads it away. Wayo continues with another header as Lord Armour seeks support from Kamara, who does well to go past Wayo all the way from his area in a circle. Now Jehu, Donzo, Armour, but Ali was first to the ball. And they are committed movement forward now, Kumasa Asante Kotoko. That leaves Wayo with quite a lot of work to do now. And we've seen him chasing all those balls, especially the passes to the back. And that was a good sweeper roll there from Kamara. O'Neal is trying to find Saka Dauda. It's a fair challenge by Yao Beifi. It's Kakari on the move. Steps up against Baidu. Good tackle from Kotoko's midfielder. Lai comes into the action and stops Kotoko's movement forward.
It certainly should be a drop ball.
Chance for Kotoko. And ball against Dogo.
Yeah, good call. And Ali Mohammed would nod in agreement with that decision from Daniel Laye. It was a dangerous ball into the box now. You could see Dogo right in front of Ali. And the process of bringing that ball down, just controls that with his arm. Wondering why they are not sending in long balls now. It always causes some sort of distraction whenever there is a good delivery into the box.
Under the lights at the Babayara Stadium, Kotoko chasing that equalizer. Here is Esiedu galloping forward in confidence. Esiedu stopped by Esibe, and it's a clean and a fair challenge by Esibe. Wayo is fighting for every ball, but it's Kakari who steps up this time. Bedu to Kamara, pressure on the Kotoko goalkeeper, but he's able to win a goal kick.
He does well. And it's the press from the Hearts of Oak attack now. They know that they have to fight for every single ball now, which they're doing. Kakari, Wayo, Paku winning the second balls.
.55 minutes at the Babayara Stadium. Kotoko nil, Hearts of Oak 1. Adamo, poor ball from the goal scorer. Patrick Esiedu to Albert Amoa. It's a foul brought down by Esibe right before referee Daniel Laye.
They're finding the spaces now, essentially. They're moving. It looks like Hearts of Oak have shown so much strength in the wide areas now, and anytime they move central, it's good for them. This time, Albert Amoa skipping past Esibe. That's a fraction of the ball, but it also brings Albert Amoa down.
Kotoko with an opportunity to equalize if they've got the right men to execute perfectly. The other day in Taka, we saw a thunderbolt unleashed by Salim Adams to open the scoring for Mediama in that John game against Ediana. Will it be Albert Amoa's turn to replicate that feat here at the Babayara Stadium? Esiedu goes over it. Albert Amoa bends one and is straight into the wall. It was George Paku who got that one out. Saka Dauda's delivery. Ali gets it away. Prince Bedu. Hamzata is a poor ball. He's giving away possession. And Kakari sees Kamara way off his line, but he's not beating Kamara.
That was an audacious attempt from Kakari from the distance. Right behind the center line. It does well, and you can see the smile. I don't know if that's a smile actually, but it was a good try.
Kotoko throwing everything at Hearts of Oak. Here is Amoa. Shows too much of the ball to Kakari, but that's what to still hang on. He wants Lord Amoa to hand him space down the right. Here is Lord Amoa. Albert Amoa creates an outlet, but Lord Amoa keeps it. The run is stopped by Hearts of Oak.
And now putting Albert Amoa on the ball field now. He was a bit immobile in the first half this time. We're seeing him pick up balls from very, very deep and make runs. And he's now dictating the play. We've not seen the best of Joe, perhaps due to the fact that he's been restricted. But that was that try earlier on from Kakari. Maybe a bit of pace on that ball could have troubled Kamara. It was from a distance. Yeah, that's Abdul Fattah who's appreciated my goals lately.
Here is Bedu. Here is Amwa. Lovely ball to Saka. Dauda, but it's cleared away by Bayfi. And it's Martin Kakari. Since so much of the ball in this second half, he picks up Wayo. Wayo tries to check back for Kakari, but it's Bedu who steps up to take over. And Mauli Wayo seems disappointed.
Yeah, it's just the two of them now orchestrating things, in attack for Hearts of Oak now.
Good play by Amwa, sprinting down the right, wazing across. Morifin Donzo, unlucky with that header, but you're thinking whether the communication between himself and Saka Dauda could have been right, because Saka was arriving.
Yeah, with a glancing header from the back, but it was Donzo, showed so much interest.
I thought these fans were going to be on their feet to chant throughout the entire duration. That Adamu goal seemed to have taken some steam from them. The energy has gone down. Comparing it to this one, these guys are on cloud 9.
Yeah, they have every reason to.
There's a push on a series by Wayo. Free kick, Asante Kotoko.
Yeah, that's out of frustration. But you talk about the fans having drops in energy, and it was a push clearly. Mauli Wayo. It's more like, you can hardly tell where the advantage is if you really want to be a goal up and play with 10 men, or rather be a goal down and have all 11 at this point.
Benjamin Asara, you can always trust him in this confident mood. Confidence personified, isn't it?
It is. At this point, one can say he's showboating now. Yeah, it's also due to the fact that Kotoko are not really playing with any intensity at all. They're allowing Hearts of Oak so much space.
With those 10 men, Hearts of Oak know that they can't drop their guard. In a game of high stakes, a chance for Kotoko. Albert Amwa, and it goes just over the top. Morifin Donzo sets up Albert Amwa. It was served on the plate for him.
Yeah, his reaction tells you he knows he's missed a big chance. It was a big chance to level matters for Kotoko. From right at the edge of the box, it was lovely from Donzo with that one tap pass to Amwa. All he had to do was to keep that down, but again, another cut, but just tease up Donzo at that point. See, Benjamin Asai trying to have a word with Adamu. His positioning questionable, but that was a big chance for Amwa.
Big chance for Albert Amwa. He knows too well. Kotoko have just one win in their last 6 competitive games. They lost their last Premier League game to Hearts of Lions. And then exited the FA Cup last weekend at the same venue. The more the clock ticks, the happier these fans become.
Yeah, they feel they're closer to maximum points. They feel they are closer, ever closer to bragging, or the bragging right. And for Kotoko, for every passing second, it feels like the energy keeps sucking up.
Here is Dogo up against Adamu. It's a corner for Asante Kotoko.
Yeah, it was a corner, and Adamu doing too well now. Looks a bit tired, but it's not giving up with the runs. Always, making good use of those long glimpses over the final touch. Definitely coming off him. And going 1v1 with Dogo.
Daniel Laye will have a word with these players. Those in that box before that corner is taken. He wants some calm to set in there. Saka Dauda delivers and nobody's connecting for Asante Kotoko as it falls to Patrick Essiedu, who launches a long one in. There was a push on Asari. It was an obvious foul by Morfin Donzo, and it's a good decision by Daniel Laye.
Yeah, that was a strategy. Just keep the goalkeeper engaged. Perhaps we could win the second ball. We could tuck that one in. It was a long delivery into the box, and you could see about 3 Kotoko players around the goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari. It was obvious. And at that point, it was Dogo so close to him now, allowing him to just go up and just claim that one. And celebrations for the away side, I guess.
Kotoko coming up with double substitutions. Seth Kojose is going to be introduced alongside Kwame Opoku, and it's Prince Bedu who will exit for Seth Kojose. Is a like for like, and then Yakubu Dogo makes way for Kwame Opoku.
Yeah, fresh limbs, renewed energy, quite a lot to add to the setup now. Seth Kojo wouldn't really be playing in an advanced role now. Jewu has taken over that position. He needs to sit deep and protect the back four.
Hasselborg would equally want to respond to those substitutions done by Asante Kotoko, and Didi Dramani will definitely come up with something.
Yeah, he's kept his cool as far as the substitutions are concerned. He's been forced to make a substitution due to an injury, another due to a sending off. It's now more like a tactical chess game now. Trying to move your pieces carefully, expose your king.
Donzo. Here Jewu sets up Albert Amoa. A bit late. Here is Lord Amoa. Jewu, no foul, but Donzo takes up possession. Now Seth Kojose, Kwame Opoku. You're thinking he should be moving forward instead of coming back, and the reaction from the fans sums it up.
Yeah. You just like that decision from Kojo. We are moving forward. You don't take the ball backwards. You just, take away some seconds, vital minutes or time out of that build-up.
Albert Amoa delivers. He's moved to the right side and allowed Donzo to occupy the middle position of the attack. Essiedu's delivery stopped by Esibe. Chance for Kotoko. Asari. He makes the most of it.
Yeah, he does, but the question is, does Kwame Opoku catch him with that training leg? Yeah, but he does well, and I think he would need some medical assistance now. But for Kotoko, they are pouring it on now. They're creating overloads at the wide areas now. It was a good hit by Siedu. They're trying to send that one in with every power. Slightest of touches could have ended an own goal. Italia combining at the far post. Siedu rips that one in, but cleared. Hartlepool doing well, holding their own at this point, and Asari always on alert.
He got big applause from the GFA technical director, Wilfred Schaefer, sometime last week when he described him as the best player on the local front. His leadership qualities never been in doubt. These fans are patiently waiting for the next 20 minutes to step out to the stadium in jubilation. If he ends this way, that would be famous.
Historic. But we've already seen the celebrations begin with those fireworks from their end, but they really came in their numbers.
Triple substitution for the Phobians. Rafael Amponsa, Duku and Collinson will come in for Wayo Afrani.
Frank Apra Duku is also on.
And who's going to be the third one?
Martin Kakari out.
Bayo has worked his socks off, hasn't he?
He's done a lot. He deserves so much applause, so much plaudits for what he's done today.
Another workaholic in this evening's game is going off, Martin Kakari for Duku.
Well. He's done well. They've really combined up front, especially after having Emmanuel Abankwara sent off. They really combined well. The hold-up play, the link-up play just between the two. They could have even scored. We saw that cutback from Wayo towards Kakari. That ball just was timely intercepted, but these two really have worked their socks off.
Asari's delivery. Jehu. That's what to pick out. Lord Amwa Kotoko trying to double their efforts in attack, but Ali calmly gets the ball. Here's Theophilus Collison. Samba wins the free kick for Asante Kotoko.
And for Frank Abora Duku, he just needs to steady the positioning of these defenders. I don't know if he has the pace of Wayo or perhaps a different profile. Maybe he could use most of the long balls as well.
Seth Kojose switches to Musa Hamzata. Lord Amwa. Good defending from Collison. Hamzata swings in across. Asari is lurking and grabs it firmly.
And they are making it so easy for Hazard now. They are making it so easy, especially the intensity now for Kotoko. Not too many touches, too much time wasted before the next pass goes. And it's allowing Hazard to just find those open spaces. They are closing in each and every time.
Less than 20 minutes to go in. Hazard still looking solid at the back.
Yeah, at this point, there's nothing to tweak for them. It looks like it's working perfectly. Perhaps the one who will be most worried now will be the head coach of Kotoko. Perhaps you give Hazard credit for their pressing today, and done it so well, even playing with that numerical disadvantage. If not resorted to the low block, but rather with a mid-press where you have players around the center circle trying to win the first balls.
Samba O'Neill. Something magical must happen because Hazard are not looking back. Esedu goes down. There's a big shout for a penalty, but Daniel Laye not interested in any call.
Not interested, and I think Esedu should be fortunate he didn't even get a booking for decent at that point. So fortunate the referee didn't hot play. Definitely that would have been a yellow card to him. It was a swift move, and the players late on closing him down, allowing him that space, tiniest of spaces, but it's so much of it.
This is where the frustration begins to set in. Hamzata. Lord Amwa. Onto Albert Amwa. Albert Amwa with a cross. Good defending from Eseberg. Here said Kojose with the drive in. And Asari Benjamin is not troubled.
No, not at all. The showboating continues for him. And at this point, you feel the confidence of this goalkeeper keeps on skyrocketing. And it's also good work by the Hearts of Oak defense, limiting Kotoko to fewer chances in the box. But that was that foul earlier, and I said it. It was clear. Daniel referee Nilai very, very close to the action. And what you can see, they're very fortunate. Just they didn't get a yellow card for that.
Saka Dauda unable to get his shots on. Here is Seth Kojose.
Yeah, they are now, trying to send those fullbacks a bit more up front. You can see the passes are also finding them.
Esiedu with a drive. Asari almost beaten, but you give Azovok's goalkeeper full credit for denying Kotoko's left back. Esiedu on that occasion is a corner taken by Amwa. Esiedu unable to skip past Collison, who shows great strength and composure there. Now he wins the foul. Clever play from Theophilus Collison.
Yeah, and comes out at frustration of Esiedu from a distance. He just whips that one. Speak about the fact that, they've been limited to shots from outside the box, but that one had some firepower behind it. They had to take a lot from Benjamin Asari. Goes down to his left to save that one. And despite the fact that
he takes a look at his watch. The grandpa is watching on and asking when. Second goal or equalizer? It's difficult to tell which team he supports, but from the look on the watch,
it's still difficult, even with the look on his watch.
He might want the equalizer maybe. Here is Donzo with a cross. It was straight to Asari. It was poorly delivered. As a matter of fact, it was on his weaker right foot.
Yeah, he had to improvise. He had to send something. It is a directness. Yeah, you give him credit for that. For Donzo, he does well. But again, you have Benjamin Asari. And whenever the defense of Hartwig is breached, there's still one man standing there. He's always just, taking out those balls with ease. And for Kotoko, I think they would have to double up again. For now, they are making it look so easy for Hartwig with how they transition the ball.
Kojose. Saka Dauda stays onside. That's what to bring it in. Headed away by Collison. Kojose finds Hamzata. Saka Dauda again. Cross almost intercepted. And it's a goal kick.
Okay, trying to go expansive there. Just using the left-hand side of attack. Kotoko. Hartwig just playing with calm heads now. After that clumsy challenge from Emmanuel Amankwa, you can hardly see any sort of indiscipline, but that was a goal again. It was a perfectly weighted ball. But improvisation on the part
of a looping header from
Adamu. Look at that. Maybe he just knew he had to get something on it. Didn't really know where that would have landed, but
Duku has a walk chance for a second. Good save from Kamara to deny the Phobians a second. Rafael Amponsa with a big chance to double the lead and maybe put the game to sleep.
Yeah, and that's obviously the biggest chance we've seen so far in this game. That was a big chance. Duku does well, tease up Amponsa. And it was Kamara who does well, rushed off his line. Now the angle makes himself so big. He could even pardon Amponsa being an attacking player perhaps. Maybe you're wondering what you would have done with that ball. Again, swarming the area, trying to impede Benjamin Asari. You talk about no sort of, protection for him, but each and every time he's had sympathy of the referee.
Benjamin Asari's delivery. Ali with a clearance. Kamara is trying to put himself under some kind of pressure.
And nearly we've seen him give away cheap balls already this evening, but that one would have been unpardonable.
Saka Dauda with a crossing, headed down by Adamu, cleared by Isibe. Every Hazlewood player is in their own half as Amponsa tries to go in between Samba and Hamzata. The Samba on the move now. Picks up Kwame Opoku. Seth Kojose. Cross comes in, intercepted by Abdul Karim, grabbed by Asare.
Again, he goes down.
Was he impeded again?
I don't know. Yeah, contact was made, but that was minimal contact. I think perhaps, you know, there's nothing new to football at this point where you have goalkeepers going down every now and then. They're trying to slow down the tempo of the opposition. And I think at this point, you know, Benjamin Asare is so experienced, he knows it. But yeah, it was Donzo closer to him. He beat him a bit. Hardly point out to the fact that, you know, Kotoko's free kick routines or dead ball routines have worked for them. Yeah, despite the fact that Hartlepool, they've also defended so gallantly.
Hamzata almost giving it away to Raphael Amponsa. He had to be rescued by his captain Sambo O'Neill, and the Kotoko captain makes an uncharacteristic mistake. This is not Sambo.
No, that's not Sambo O'Neill, perhaps, but the pressure again. And Hartlepool, they're doing so well now. You talk about the press, and yeah, despite the fact that they're playing with a man down, it's still been good with them. They've not allowed Kotoko so much room, you know, for them to bombard them with those direct balls. At that point, you have two players trying to close him down.
10 more minutes to wrap up here at the Babayara. Is Kotoko trailing Hartlepool by 1-0. George Parku to take the throw for the Phobia and sends one in. And Esiedu is all alone. He finds Saka Dauda. It's Kotoko on the offensive. He's aiming at Kwame Opoku, but Benjamin Asare is there for the Phobians.
Yeah, Albert Amwa. You could see how frustrated he is at this point. Another run into the channel by Kwame Opoku. See Albert Amwa shaking his head. Just please the balls, yeah. The quality of the balls as well. Not being up to that standard.
Hartlepool return to the conversation for the Premier League title. If the results stay this way, it gives them that sense of belief that it is possible with some 12 more games to go.
Yeah, and looking at the fact that they're closing, they narrow the gap from, you know, 8 to 7 now between themselves and Midyama. Gives them some hope.
So let's figure out what has happened across some venues today. Bechem United have accounted for Young Apostles. They beat them earlier 1-0 in Bechem. Brecum Chelsea deep in the walls of Hearts of Lions, beating them 2-1 at the Golden City. And Gold Stars are back in the conversation once more. They beat Holy Stars by 3-0 at the Downs Park in Bibiani. Here is Saka Dauda. No foul. Now, Kwame Opoku. Again is Mohamed Ali, who shows strength, desire, and character right here.
Yeah, and he's that man. Anytime you want that last-ditch tackle, you count on him. No, has not put a foot wrong throughout this game. Commanded the back so well. It's a partnership as well, you know, with Isibe, and then Adamu was attacking in to make it a back three.
What has been shocking in the results of today's Premier League games is that game at the Tuba AstroTurf where Dreams lost 1-0 at home to Karela. Dreams had gone on a very smooth path, some 4 games unbeaten, only for them to be pegged back at home this afternoon. But elsewhere, at the Holloway Stadium, the home side beats visiting Nations FC by 2-1, and All Blacks condemned Samatex to a 1-0 defeat in Swedro. Kotoko in search of the equalizer. Amankwabe Ifi with a clearance. It's awkward though, as Collison fails to deal with it. Here is Patrick Esiedu, twisting and turning. Here is Jehu, sends in a drive, stopped by Kwame Opoku on his way.
Didn't see that one coming. Distance a bit short for him to react, and that reaction time a bit slow as well.
Jehu. Now Lord Armour. Stadium is a bit quiet at this point. Tense moments for both sides. Here is Samzata. It's a poor ball from the central defender. Poor anticipation, poor reading. So what was Lord Armour thinking? They should have been on the same page.
Exactly, not on the same wavelength at this point. You could see Lord Armour pointing to that spot, hit it a bit more central for me. And that would have been so easy for him to just hit that one across the face of goal. That was a bad ball.
So what Gold Stars have done is to close the gap on Mediama to 5 points. 5. And the Phobians equally closed it to 5. Yeah. If it stays this way, we're going to be in some intense competition in the remaining games.
Yeah, Neil Byton, Neil Racking. You talk about the fact that Gold Stars also erased that minus goal deficit for the first time in a long time.
'85 minutes. Kotoko trailed the Phobians and chased the equalizer at this point. Overly hit by Seth Kojose. Signs of frustration for Asante Kotoko as the Phobians remain calm, composed.
Yeah, they are calm now. The Phobians, they're still hoping that the clock will still keep, running down for them. It's all about that, teamwork for Hardsville. It's just been evident they've played, so well.
Dejected faces, but they know it's not over until the final whistle. But at this point, it's all disappointment for those guys on that bench for Asante Kotoko. Looking forward to this intense 4 minutes remaining. Here is Samba O'Neill, Saka Dauda. He sees the movement of Armour down the right side. Here is Armour, swings in across, and Ali heads it out as a corner.
Yeah, good ball again, and similar to what we saw Hamzata, miss over there. It was a good ball. Lord Armour had to take 1-2 touches for hitting that one. You always have the defense of Hartsville going to let.
Patrick Esedu to take Kotoko's corner with 4 minutes to go. Benjamin Asari gets it away for Hartsville. Here comes Seth Kojose. Now Lord Armour. Kojose aiming at Kwame Opoku. He flicks it over and it goes out for a goal kick.
You wonder what he was doing at that point, Kwame Opoku. He had Babademu right behind him, but he also had the luxury of just bringing that one with his chest. Again, look at that. Good ball. Again, and Kwame Opoku turned between two worlds as to what to do with that ball. It was a decent ball, though. Could have done a lot with it.
So much history as far as this fixture is concerned. Records dating back to 1958 indicates a tightly contested rivalry between these two. Kotoko holding a slight advantage with the most wins, 41 victories. Hartsville have won 38 times, and 40 of this super clash have ended in draws. Hartsville on the way to claiming their 39th victory in the super clash. First victory it will be for them since the 2020-2021 season. Last season when the Mets here Kotoko beat Hartsville 1-0. They beat them in the first round of the league in Accra, but it looks like it might be a Phobian night. Here is Saka Dauda. There's a foul against Saka Dauda for a deliberate foul. And a yellow card to him for that challenge on Rafael and Ponsa.
Yeah, very inviting, a bit late there from Saka Dauda. Bit of elaboration there, clumsy, very, very clumsy from the Kotoko attacker. And you buy hard of ball time now. That's something you don't have. It's very expensive at this point. And you keep buying your opponent time, and they'll be loving it at this point. Ponsa will need some medical
confirmation of Saka Dauda's yellow card. Mixed fortunes for the two sets of fans here at the Baba Yara. On the right side is quietness. The fans are already filing out from the stadium even before the final whistle. They've already given up, but not these guys. These guys want to stay on the final whistle, and then that celebration will continue deep in the night in the Garden City. The Rainbow Lads on the verge of claiming a famous victory at the iconic Baba Yara.
Yeah, there's just some few minutes away. Just a few minutes away, and the celebrations have already begun. You wouldn't blame them. Kotoko have not really stepped up.
Folded arms, pensive look.
It's the attitude on the pitch.
Uncertainty surrounding the outcome. But these guys wouldn't mind, bro.
They wouldn't, especially you look at the fact that they lost in the reverse fixture.
Kotoko go to Wenchi on match day 23. They play Young Apostles. We're doing 4 additional minutes. Hatsabok will welcome their former coach Samuel Boadu to the University of Ghana Stadium next weekend when they play host to Brekum Chelsea. We're into the final moments of this game. 4 additional minutes. Gideon Nikofi indicating how many more minutes we're doing before the final whistle. Donzo stopped. Opoku. Donzo, but it goes calmly to Benjamin Asari, and the showboating can continue here.
Yeah. Certainly
you can always
take
trust
all the
him.
time. Yeah, that's what he's doing now. He's really done a lot. He has the fans right behind him. Literally, just look at that. Asking them to just cheer up at this point. And it's frustrating. Just look.
And it might just be one of those nights he'll remember fondly throughout his career, leading out the walk to beat Kotoko and Kumasi. Donzo and Asari again is up to the task. The fans are loving every bit of his action and antics.
He's making it look easy. He's making it easy. That's where you question the attitude of Kotoko now. You need to be sending in decent balls. It's not causing any sort of havoc at all.
Hamzata gives the ball away to Rafael Amponsa. Has the ball in the Kotoko area, but Amponsa gives it away. Here is Lord Amwa. 2 more minutes for Kotoko to get that equalizer. Here is Albert Amwa. He sees the movement of Donzo. Here is Morinfin Donzo for Asante Kotoko. He sends in a cross. Chance for Kotoko, and it's cleared away by Ali. Referee whistles because there was an earlier incident. Dejection on the face of Patrick Esiedu.
Disappointment, but Donzo could have done better. Could have just hit that one on the first time of asking. Just look at that. There was that run again from a deep area, and that was Saka Dauda waiting in the goalkeeper's area for a delivery. But another touch there from Kwame Poku before hitting that one. And Benjamin Asari, very fortunate at that point.
We're into the final seconds of stoppage time. Hatsabok on the verge of breaking Asante Kotoko's home invincibility. Kotoko have not lost in 10 games this season at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, but all that record a few seconds away from being broken by their bitter rivals Hatsabok. And that will further leave Kotoko out of the conversation in contention for the Premier League title. And Benjamin Asare unable to deal with this one first time, but there was a push on him.
Yeah, certainly there was. It's been one weakness of Kotoko's game, aerial balls. They've lost almost every single aerial duel. And just look at that again. Benjamin Asare exposed, but he came into contact with Kwame Poku.
Time for his captain's band to be fixed well for him.
He needs that. At this point, he needs it.
I've seen referee Laye take a look at his watch. We've done all the additional 4 minutes. All eyes are now on referee Daniel Nilaye as Esiedu sends the long ball in. Asare collects it calmly, and this should be it. He's taking another look at his watch. It is finished. Hatzabok have defied the odds. They've broken the home invincibility of Asante Kotoko. They picked up maximum points to the disappointment of the Porcupine faithful. It's all joy and merrymaking among the Phobian faithful. They're beating Asante Kotoko at their fortress. The first self-header by Adamu have settled the scores between Azabok and their bitter rivals. And it's a man of the match performance by this chap right here, Benjamin Asare, the Black Stars #1 goalkeeper and Azabok captain, has guided the Phobians to a win. What makes it even sweeter for the Phobians is that they had to endure most parts of the game with 10 men after Emmanuel Amankwa was shown the red card for a second bookable offense. An exciting game of witness here, Josiah.
Compelling, breathtaking. You can't take anything away from how to go to work yourself up, especially after being reduced to 10 men. And it's been heroic from them. Every single player, playing their part. But then, most importantly, Benjamin Asare stepping up with some good saves to deny Kumasi Asante Kotoko. It's not just about a bargain, right? It's not just about a 3 points, but then they still have, that belief that they can close in and challenge for the title. Now it's been reduced to 5 points. And, perhaps the party will continue late into the night, but there's still a bigger picture, and it is still to breathe down the necks of Midian.
It's full time. The biggest game on the Ghanaian football calendar on the domestic scene is over. Full time. Asante Kotoko 0, Hatzabok 1.
La